Lindsey, everybody! Yay! Is this where you want to go? You good? Okay. There's a reason they're not together. Can you figure out what that is? First of all, relax.
Okay.
Don't be so nervous. Can you figure out why they're not together? Very common issue. Have you conducted before?
Not using?
Have you conducted without a baton before?
Yeah.
Yes. So how does it figure out why they're not together? What are tips? Yes. So you want the tips together. Okay, thank you. Good. There you go. Yes, now Lindsey just showed us what I just showed. I think awesome. I like the vibrato. It's awesome. She showed the final playing and then the release. That was beautiful. Okay. Now remember, if you're excited, which you are, which is great, all you have to do is hold the baton like that, and it pretty much goes away. And then you can start conducting and then go right to that regular grip. Okay. Now you started like this, which is very good, and notice they started right together. Very good. And then you reverted back to this. This, for some of you, not all of you, having the tips together like this will feel a little bit, you'll feel uneven. It'll almost feel like you're doing this. It was like when we went to the hallway and I had you lie on the floor. And then when you stood against the wall, it felt like you were standing like this, but after a while it felt really comfortable, like you were lying on the floor again. Same kind of thing here. This is a bit of an asymmetrical way of holding the baton and stance, but in my estimation, it makes a lot of sense because then we have the triangle of communication, the eyes and the tips right together, communicating all at one time, and you can communicate in such great ways with everybody just by pivoting back and forth. Okay? So, you liked their crescendos. We could tell. There were moments that Lindsey lived in the 3 time zones. She showed something. She looked at the people that wanted to have happen. She liked what she heard, and then she went to something else. That's one of the first times we've seen the 3 time zones already. You didn't even know you were doing it, maybe. Sort of, okay. What we would like to see more is what you don't like. Don't be so willing to accept their plan. Only be willing to accept the very best plan. Not try again. Put your ears on the percussion. So you looked at Brady, but you looked. It wasn't meaningful eye contact. All you need to do is this, which is an insistent left hand and a look of now, and then he'll give you exactly what you want. Okay? With a section or with a principal or a soloist or a person, as you interact with someone or a section, and you inspire them to do more like Lindsey just did with Brady, make sure that you respond to what you hear. Because Brady should have been thinking, so how's that? Is that enough? But you didn't respond to his response to you. So after you write that down, then I want you to write this. A lot of words. Sorry. Remember, you can record anytime. You can take your phone out and record the class anytime. I told you that the first day. Okay? Right. Now, here's one other thing I want you to write. Conducting is like a ping pong game. It's like a table tennis tournament. The conductor serves the ball. The conductor does that by showing some kind of a gesture. The ensemble hits it back. And the conductor hits it back. It's a game of response and energy. And it is constantly going back and forth between the conductor and the ensemble. It's not good enough, I think. This is very debatable because a lot of conductors vehemently disagree with us. It's not good enough for a conductor to interact with someone and have them interact back with them and then not have the conductor respond in some way before moving on to do something else. And just to look like everybody look up here. So Lindsey showed this, and that's all he needs to know, yeah, that was good. And now he's going to do it at least that good from now on, if not better, because she just inspired him to want to play even more for her. That's how you establish rapport with an ensemble. Okay? Comments, please. Call in the mic.
Sometimes your left hand, you start like this and then it turns sideways, and that's okay, but it kind of, as far as tone goes, you'll get a warmer, richer sound if you hold it like this in your hand, like you're holding shampoo in your hand.
Toneful shampoo.
Right, of course. Now, when you're affecting dynamics, it's completely fine and necessary to turn it. But think about holding that, like their tone like that, as much as you can, and that'll keep your hand from going like this. Because this is kind of
sustaining a note. Like the last measure 3, measure 6, as you're sustaining those notes, that'd be a great use of your left hand to hold it with the palm up. Mm-hmm. It will also give more power of tone. String players will use more bow. Wind players will use more air. Not really sure why. That's just what happens. Other comments, please?
The last time when you were conducting, you kept looking at your hand and I knew what you were trying to say and communicate, that we weren't reacting enough. But I think it'll be more effective instead of looking at your hand, if you make eye contact with each one of us and make a face that I don't like it, then maybe we'll react quicker and be more accurate to what you want. I know what you mean by looking at your hands, but if you make eye contact and make a face, that'll be more effective.
Notebook. Great point. Jerry Junkin, who is the director of bands at Texas. This is the person I steal this from. So if you've seen me use this technique, this is where I stole it from. He's a very sarcastic person, but great. I mean, fantastic. So what he will do, if he's conducting something and someone's not responding, he'll get their eyes, and I'm showing you how he does this right now, so stop writing and watch. He'll get their eyes, have a look of discontent, he'll point to his baton and show what he's showing, and then give a look of... and what that does is, for that moment, he has that direct eye contact with a person who wasn't watching before. And he doesn't have to stop. He's not wasting anybody's time. It's kind of a funny moment, and he doesn't have to stop. So it's a really good way of rehearsing. The last thing, players, vocalists, they don't care as much, to be honest, because they're very social. But the last thing that players want is for the conductor to stop and start talking. Players are there to play. Vocalists are there to have a good time and sing sometimes, just to be honest, okay? All right, other comments, please.
I'd say you could just kind of broaden your frame a little bit. I feel like it's kind of in this little box right here, so I'd say just kind of open yourself up to the idea that your body can be bigger or smaller, and that'll affect us differently. Because I felt like it was kind of reserved, like the elbows were in a little bit, so they don't have to be out all the time, but they could be out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing you could use.
And anyone want to address her stance? What did you notice? Jordan?
What this kind of said, I would be careful not to fall back into your fidgeting habit. I see you wanting to do it, like starting to play with the hem of your shirt or hold the baton in your hand, and kind of leaning more weight on one leg.
Yeah, you have kind of the, like your feet are right now, you've got one foot ahead of the other. Which again, some conductors don't mind. I do, because it goes against what my teachers taught me, which was even feet, is what they always told me, because I did the same thing. And psychologically, subconsciously, it's an adversarial stance. It's like, I dare you to mess up. And you don't want your players to feel that way. It's like showing somebody a cue like this. Like, I dare you to actually play. You know, you don't want that.